Hello fabulous ones, welcome back to my channel. I am Marlo Keenan, and if you're new here, welcome to the fabulous family. Today I am so stoked about this daggone video. Why? Because I have a Natasha Denona palette. Say it isn't so. I am going to explain why this is such a big deal. I'm going to explain why one of my friends named Keeping It Simple with Bridget is the #1 fan of Natasha Denona. I am going to tell you so much of my thoughts about Natasha Denona and all of that jazz. So if you want to know my thoughts on this palette, you want to see this tutorial, it is a talk that is going to be fun. You don't want to miss it. Continue to watch. But before you leave, you already know, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of my future uploads. Now, let's get into the video. Okay guys, I'm super excited about this video, okay? So we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna be talking through this video. Hopefully it's not gonna be too long, but you know, I just have to go through everything I need to go through in terms of this palette and all that stuff and Bridget and whole nine. But let's first, you know, do some things here. I do want to introduce the new Gerard Cosmetics Canvas Concealer Base. Well, it's not really a concealer, it's just a base, an eye base, not concealer base. And I absolutely love it. I have been using it 4 days now and all that jazz, and it's a beautiful consistency, all of that stuff. I am an affiliate with Gerard Cosmetics. You can save some coin. All that information is down below. You guys know this. So we're gonna go in first, and I'm gonna go ahead and coat my lids with it. And a little bit, and I mean little bit, a dot goes a long way with this product. So anyway, again, like I said in the intro, Bridget and I known each other for a long time. I think it's like almost now been almost 4 years, but I know it's been 3. It may be going on 4 years. She was actually one of my first, she was the first YouTube friend that I ever had, and we have been supporting each other for the longest time. It's not even just about supporting each other, we are literally friends, you know what I'm saying? We talk on the phone and all that jazz. We're supportive of each other in all walks of life. She's wonderful. She's a great person. So you definitely need to go ahead and check out her channel, okay? Go do that right now, but not while you're watching this video, after you watch the video. So throughout the years, you know what I'm saying, both of our channels had, you know, grown and changed and all that jazz. And so initially, and still to this day, as I watch her channel, she would always be talking about some daggone Natasha Denona, okay? Like, constantly. And I felt like at one point, every time I saw a video, it was
Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona.
I'm just saying. So it is what it is. But before I get into all of that, I want to explain my perception or whatever and how I feel about Natasha Denona, okay? First of all, we are going to be using this mini palette. It's the mini Lila palette, and it does look quite gorgeous. The only reason why I have this palette is because it was on Sephora's website. At first it was on sale. No, at first I think the regular price is $25, and then I saw it on sale for $12.50. So, you know, I was like, okay, let's do this for $12.50. And I thought it would just be so poetic that I do it, and then I do this video, because you guys have no idea. Through the years of me and Bridget, I'm always teasing her. I'm like, girl, you about to get that Natasha Denona palette, huh? Anything that drops and all this jazz. So it's a real big fun and game thing for us.
I got a lot of flack from one of my girlfriends, Marlo. She has a channel, and she is notorious for Marco Polo and me early in the morning. You know, so she sends me this message, you getting that palette? I know you getting that palette, and da da da. She was just doing the most about this palette. I ain't getting this palette. I'm not paying $65 because the pans are so small. And
so just to begin, I want to go and tell you, you know, my opinion on it. First of all, before I get into that, these shades look very beautiful. I know that another friend of mine has this chat with Lou. Go check out her channel. She actually says she enjoys this palette a lot. It's a traveling palette and all that jazz, and it does look like a traveling palette. You know, you do have a transitional shade right here, shimmer, and then you have these mauvey purpley tones and all of that good jazz. So to me, just at first glance, it looks great. And so I'm going to use these shadows like I do any other shadow, and I know I'm not going to be biased just because I want these to be like groundbreaking for me. I ain't gonna lie. The way people be hyping up sometimes, and sometimes don't be hyped up, I just want to see how it works for me. So that's what we're going to do. So moving forward with the story, I just felt that it would be super fun to do a video like this and talk about Bridget. Okay, so I'm going to go on with this shade here. And what is this shade called? It's called Flint, which is weird because the name is right here, but it doesn't correspond to this shadow, which is like, why? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and with Flint, and I'm gonna put it on my brush. A little bit of fallout, but I don't care about that. You guys know this. Okay, so yes, the concealer is creasing. Everything creases on me. I'm old and I got hood eyes, and it just is what it is, but I'll pat that out later because I'm not going down that far just yet. So I'm just gonna pat this shade in. Okay, and so yeah, so when I tell you, no, let me first tell you what I think. That's where I left off. Okay, so this is my thing with Natasha Denona. It's not that I don't like her. It's not like I don't like the brand. It has nothing to do with that. I never used a Natasha Denona shadow. I don't have any. This is my first palette. So far, this is blended out to perfection. Look, I mean, I didn't even do that much and it's already blended. So, oh my God, we're off to a good start, okay? I just feel like this. It just, for me, you know, the price point of this, you know, of Natasha Denona, I just felt that I just could not see myself, you know, spending $125 on a palette. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like in my brain, in my mind, I personally could not wrap myself around it. I think the most expensive palette that I do have is like, what, $65 maybe? And that was Kat Von D palette, Saint and Sinner. This was like way before, you know, she had all that drama surrounding her and this, that, and the other. And that was the only one, I think that's like my highest price palette. And I always thought that, okay, this is like my, you know, point level or whatever. And let me go on to say this before anybody says, oh, maybe you just don't like it, you know, because, you know, people can't afford it. And that's not my case. I could drop the $125 today. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. I just couldn't wrap my mind about buying something so expensive and I see mixed reviews. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like I hear great things about the palette, her palettes, excuse me, but then also this is a really pretty shade. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really pretty shade, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I hear mixed reviews. It's like not consistent for me, and I don't want to be in a situation where I feel I spent $125. You know how many bottles of wine that is, or how many bottles of Cheetos that is? $125. I'm just saying. And so anyway, you know, that's how I feel about it. It has nothing to do with the brand or anything like that. But, you know what I'm saying? And I have to admit, and so does Bridget, even Bridget herself has done videos talking about the inconsistency of it, or her changing the different formulas and all of that jazz. Let me give you an example.
But I'm thinking that the formulas are different. Yeah, the consistency is different, if you ask me, in these two palettes. But I do think that this palette is really pretty.
So for me, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I want to try this palette and love it, and then get another palette and the formula change. I don't got no time for that. If I'm going to spend $125 on a palette, that palette better blend out perfectly every time. I better not have one issue with one eyeshadow. It better be consistent across the board. I got no time. And that's just my opinion. Now, for all you Natasha Denona lovers and just love to buy the palettes, good for you. You do you, boo-boo. I'm just trying to state my opinion. Throughout all these years, it's just been a fun thing between me and Bridget and some other people. Lori also knows how I feel about it because she has some Natasha Denona palettes, and I will put her channel above. Go check out Lori. She is amazing. And so it's just this like fun thing back and forth about our different opinions. But let me tell you, Bridget loves some Natasha Denona. Let me give you an example.
The only thing new that I have is this beauty right here, this Natasha Denona palette. Oh my goodness, I love it, I love it.
28 pan palette. This is the purple and the blue one. Her Star palette, her Sunset palette, the Lila palette, her 2 holiday palettes, and her latest release, the Tropic palette.
I'm just saying. She could be Natasha. I don't even know why she ain't getting PR from Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona is quite disrespectful because she don't know that Bridget her #1 fan. I'm just saying. Okay, so this first shade, this blended out beautifully. I absolutely love it. I am not gonna lie. It just seems like this shade does not translate like the same color in the pan that it's on my eye. It's actually coming out like a mauve color, and this in here it just looks like a soft brown, almost like soft brown from MAC. In fact, you know what I mean? That's what it looks like, but that is not translated on my eye the same way. But I don't care because it is beautiful. Like it blended out really well. Okay, so next shade that I'm gonna go into is this middle shade right here, and this is called Raisin. It's like this plummy matte shade, and I'm gonna take my Morphe 433 brush and just pack that into my outer corner and bring it into the crease, and let's just see how that goes. Okay, here's the brush. I'm gonna go ahead and tap it. So, ooh, okay, a little bit of fallout, not much at all. Again, I don't care, but my brush is pretty saturated right there. Ooh, wow, okay, like, wow, that's pretty. Look at that. Look at that. That's packing on beautifully. I'm not gonna lie. I have not one patch coming up, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bring that into the crease in my outer corner, all that good jazz, and bring it up some. I'm gonna flip my brush and blend it out. This is really, wow, this is really blended out beautifully. So easy. And again, guys, this is like literally straight up my first impression. Like, you know what I mean? Even though I tease Bridget all the time and stuff, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm giving this an honest shot, and I'm being honest. You guys are seeing my reactions firsthand. All right, Bridget. All right. This is beautiful, and it's blending out so well. Is this right now making me still be like, am I gonna go spend $125? Not yet. Anyway, let's see what we come up with by the end of the look. Okay, Bridget. All right, Bridget. I'm liking this one right here. Okay, so this next shade right here, this is like just a darker, I feel like this is more plumish, you know, mauve, and this is definitely more of a darker purple. This is called Poison Berry. So what we're gonna do is that we'll put this on the lower lash line. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this beautiful color here in Linen, and this looks like a really pretty shade, champagne-y shade, and I'm gonna put that in a crease, but I'm not going to cut the crease. I'm just going to lightly coat the inner corner to give it that brightness and definition and all that jazz. But I think, you know what, let me just put a little bit more, because I want to see how deep I could get this. I want to see how, you know, how buildable it is and how darker it gets. And it is getting, see, it is, yes, okay. So that's what I'm looking for. You know, I like a dark outer corner, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I roll. It is doing its thing, okay? I'm liking it. I'm digging this. I'm digging it. I'm digging it, Bridget. I'm digging it. Okay, Bridget, you pulling your weight in the relationship, okay? I'm just saying. Now, you know, it's time for you to be trying them indie brands I be talking about. Especially the ones that I got a code with. Okay, so once again, I'm going to flatten out them creases again. And in doing that, it's actually adding a little bit more concealer. Well, not concealer, but the Canvas Eye Base by Gerard Cosmetics. It's providing a little bit more coverage and brightening it up. So now I'm going to quickly, before that all creases again, take my angle brush. And I like using this these type of brushes for that, for really just a light wash, as I'm not doing a cut crease. And I'm going to go into that the shade right here, because it just gives it a very light, subtle type of wash of the shimmer shade without it being too bold. And so I just go in slowly at first and then see if I want to add more. And this is freaking, oh my god. Okay, this is freaking pretty. That's pretty. That's pretty. Now if I was to do a cut crease with this, once I cut the crease, I would pack this shade in with a shader brush, and then that pigment, it will look more profound. But I want it to actually just be a light wash and just spread it, and that's what I'm going for with this look. You can't tell me that ain't pretty. And so let me take my other brush without any extra product and just, you know, blend in those lines real quick, because y'all know how I feel about harsh lines at the end of my cut creases, okay? At the end of my half cut creases, rather. Wow, I'm loving it, Bridge. I'm loving it, Bridget. Okay? She's gonna, I know, like, when she watches this video, she's gonna be like, I told you, I told you. But you ain't saying nothing because all her palettes ain't consistent per your review. Let's go ahead and do the lower lash line. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this first, and then I'm gonna go ahead in with Poison Berry. So at the end of the day, I've used every shade except for this Blue Dahlia. So let's go ahead and quickly do the lower lash line. Now that I've done that, let me go ahead and I'm gonna just take some more of that shimmer shade, but I'm gonna take my bullet brush that I use for my inner corner, and I'm just gonna kind of like saturate that so I could have like that highlight right there. Right there, and in the beginning of my lower lash line as well. This was definitely worth my $12.50. I'm just saying. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be like a whole 3-in-1 review. First the canvas and now this, but I have to review this really quickly. I'm going to try it for the first time. It is High Pigment Waterproof Liquid Liner. This was sent to me, and the company is, it's Unshakeable Liquid Waterproof Black Eyeliner. Nice felt tip. Let's go for it. So far so good. Okay, I got this eyeliner on, and it's okay. Like, I feel like it's taking a long time to dry down, and it almost is drying down like almost like kind of like a black patent leather. It's like really strange, but I don't hate it. But is it better than my Fenty? No, it's not. I'm gonna try it a few times before I make a total final assessment, but right now it's drying down. It's not drying down totally matte. It just looks wet still, but it may just take a while to dry down. I don't know. But moving forward, I'm gonna go ahead and put the lower lashes on in the style Jade. These are by Wisemakeup. Okay, the lippy that I'm gonna go in with is by Gerard Cosmetic. This is the Bullet, and this is in 1995. She also has a Hydra Matte in 1995, but I'm going to use the Bullet because I think it is a perfect shade for this look. Okay guys, this is the final look. Do I like it? I love it. I absolutely love the way this palette performs. Absolutely, hands down. The only debacle that I made, it's not even a debacle to be honest with you, is just that this shade here, and this is what, Flint, it really looks like a soft like matte brown, and it just, when it came onto my lids, it just looked like it was more of a mauve type of light brown. I can't even explain it, and that could be solely on the base, you know what I'm saying, because the base, you know, obviously will probably interfere with the actual shade and how it translates on the eye, but that's it. It all blended out beautifully. Like, I have no complaints. It just blended out so pretty. And what I do love about it is travel size. You could take it on the go. Now, would I say that this is everyday? It can be everyday, and I'm talking about a minute everyday, because I mean, what you gonna do? You're just gonna use this one shade and maybe this shimmer shade, but this is the rest of the three are so colorful. I mean, you could like not obviously, you know, have it as rich and deep as I did, but you know, I mean, I would have to bring another palette. You know what I'm saying? This will not be my one and all palette traveling, because I'm not gonna wear a look like this every single day. So, but I do love it. So Bridget, yes, I do love this palette. Now, am I still convinced that the other palettes are worth $125? What you think I'm gonna say? No. So I mean, I have to, you know, I believe I have to experience the other palettes for itself. So I don't even want to make that assumption to say that I feel that I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I don't have enough experience with Natasha Denona's palettes in its entirety to make that assessment, because she has a lot of palettes. But again, my friend Bridget, she has again claimed that they're great, this, that, and the other, but at the same time formulas change from this, that, and the other. And so I still don't know. I still don't know. Now, somebody want to buy me the palette and send it to me, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, you know. I do know that she has a palette that just recently launched, and that's like $65. And I will tell you the truth, based on this palette and how it performed and all of that jazz, I would have bought that palette, but I am on a no buy. I'm on a no buy for 6 months up until June. And depending on how I feel in June, I might even extend that. You know, I'm not on a no buy for makeup, just from eyeshadow palettes, because I have so many I need to get through my collection. Okay, and so that's how I feel about it. But I would say I would have bought the one that just launched for $60 or $65, hands down. And that's solely based on how this performed. So again, I really do like it. I love this look. I think it's on and popping. It was super easy. And what made it easy is the blendability. It was very easy. So I loved it. So Bridget, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed my thoughts in the beginning, what I said about you, because I love you, girl, and you know this. And I had to do this video in honor of you, and you being the #1 fan of Natasha Denona. She should be giving you PR, point blank in the period, honey. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Again, I love you, Bridget. Please check out all the people's channels that I mentioned. I believe that was Keeping It Simple with Bridget. It's my Lori and Chat with Lou. Go check out their channels as well. And again, I love you guys. And until my next video, y'all. Bye-bye now.